Talking wax. Hey, everybody. It's ADIKA, and it is Saturday night. We're actually live, believe it or not. That's right. We're live, and thank you for all being here. I figured I'd do something a little different, but if it's your first time here, welcome to Talking Wax. And tonight it's Artist Rewind, everybody. That's right here, Artist Rewind. It is the ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. That's right. It's all happening here. Tonight we have a special guest. We're bringing on Chris Jagger. You might know Chris Jagger from his brother, the famous Mick Jagger, of the lead singer of the Rolling Stones. Well, Chris is a lead singer himself, and he's going to tell us about his new record he has coming out and his autobiography that he's been working on. It's a biography about his family growing up in the Jagger household. So we'll chit chat with all that stuff. But the interview was done about 2 weeks ago, and apparently we had a little bad news about Charlie Watts passing. So I figured do a little live thing about Charlie Watts because I'm a big Rolling Stones fan, and Charlie Watts, he was really something special. He was really not a rock and roll drummer. He was really a jazz drummer, blues, and anything but rock and roll. But living, with the Stones in the beginning when they started out and getting turned on from vinyl records from Keith Richards and Brian Jones, he started adapting and getting into the Muddy Waters and all that. But before that, he was like into Miles Davis and a lot of that stuff. But he definitely always had that laid back rock and roll style. And he wasn't flashy, but he was real dapper, always dressed with a suit and looked cool. And it's a big loss, and he was a big part of the Stones and their sound, and he was really the heart and soul of the Stones. So to Charlie's friends and family, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and thank you for the good music that you have done, Mr. Charlie Watts out there. Couple of little things about Charlie Watts. If you look over here, I just want to share with you guys. Right there on the Stones album, Get Your Yayas Out, there's Charlie on the cover, being silly over there with the donkey next to him. And you might not know about this, but on one of the Stones albums, Charlie used to sketch, and he used to sketch in his hotel rooms and actually sketch the bed, the hotel situation with the bed and all that stuff. But on this album cover, if you look behind on the flip side of the album cover on Between the Buttons, that's all Charlie Watts is a sketch. One of the Stones' early albums with Brian Jones, that's before Ronnie Wood and Mick Taylor. But yeah, so our thoughts and prayers definitely go out to the family. And Charlie Watts, thank you for the good music you have done and you brought to us. All righty. And moving forward, let's see who's in the chat also over here. But please, everybody, subscribe if it's your first time here. I'm going to show the interview. I figured I'd go live and share this with you guys. And please, check out our other playlist. And also, if you want to see full interviews and unedited and real time, we have a Patreon where I do the interviews in real time, unedited, no overlay. So if you want to see a lot of the bloopers and the laughs, feel free. It really helps us to grow this channel. So I appreciate that. In the chat, I'm looking over here. I see Steve, I see Chris, I see Debbie Mullers here. Thank you all for being here. Audrey, thank you guys for being here. Isandra, and thank you guys for all being here. I think it's that time to start the show. Let's see who else we got here. And you guys all talk amongst yourself, and anything you want to know, go ahead, please. But I say we're going to roll that tape, right? Are you guys ready for some good time? Because I am ready. Here it goes. Ready? You're on the air. You're live, Chris Jagger. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Hi
show.
there. Cool.
So we're here. Chris, thank you for coming on the show. And
where are you? I don't even know.
Right there. We got a book coming out, Talking to Myself, Chris Jagger. And is the release date on that? Is that September coming out?
Yeah, September 10th.
September 10th. Okay. But you could pre-order it now on Amazon, correct? All righty. So it's about your life growing up as a kid in the Jagger household. Now, for people who don't know Chris Jagger, you've been under a rock because Chris has been making music for quite some time. I mean, you did your first record, and correct me, 73 was your first album.
Yeah.
But you actually did acting, You know, you do a lot of stuff up here. So let's go back to the roots of Chris Jagger. This, we're going back. Chris Jagger, this is your life. The book that you're putting out, a lot of people know you know your life story. They know the whole family story, but this book you're putting out now, tell us about it.
It was a hell of a lot of work, Stefan. I can tell you that much, because I've written a lot of journalistic pieces over the years, but mostly that's revolved around someone saying, you know, we want 1,500 words by next Tuesday and we'll pay you $500, you know, so you sit up half the night and drink a lot of coffee and write the text, and that's it. So, you know, when you say, yeah, you could write your autobiography, you know, let us deliver it anytime when you feel like it. And, take your time, and we'll try and get you some money. You know, that's just not going to happen, because I'm a sort of person that needs, you know, if you say we need this song by, you know, in a week's time for this movie, you know, you got to write this country song, you know, you get it done. Otherwise you just, you know, hang it on the peg. So I kind of messed around with doing a book for a while. And so I had some source material, but then when someone said, yeah, okay, go ahead, write the book. Here's some dosh. You know what dosh is?
What is dosh? What is it? It's not Yiddish. You're not speaking Yiddish to me, because I speak a little Yiddish and I dress British. So what is it?
Gelt. Okay, that's probably Yiddish.
Gelt. To explain it to the audience out there too, so we all know.
Filthy lucre.
Okay, yes, that's right.
It's a slang English expression, dosh.
Yeah,
like they say. Can you see me? I'm a bit dark, aren't I?
You're a little dark. If you could put a little light, if you have a light to put behind the screen, behind your camera, that'd be good.
I'll have to go and.
I mean, Chris, there's no need to be in the witness protection program. You're a good-looking man. You got this new book. We got to sell the book, baby.
Okay. Well, look. So someone gave me some money and said, go ahead, write the book. So I started doing it in 2019 as it happened.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I'm not really going to do any gigs this year. I did do a few. I did more than I thought, because when I filed my taxes, I realized I actually did do a few gigs. But basically, I took time off gigging, because writing a book, you know, you can't keep being interrupted all the time by it.
Yeah,
you know, going out and driving around and playing music for people, and you got to keep your chops together, and you know, all the organization and stuff. So I, you know, put my sort of shoulder to the wheel, or whatever the expression is, and I got up early in the morning, and I stuck to it. I stuck to my task, and you know, got the thing done, and I had to do endless revisions, and it was a pain in the ass. And it was like having a sort of, not that I went to university, but it was like writing an essay for someone, then, and they keep sending it back to you to correct it, you know, like it's like
tedious. Tedious.
So, and certain parts of it, I did enjoy writing. I mean, the writing of it's one thing, but you have to edit it, and you have to, you know, it's a bit of a roller coaster, because you read it back and you think, yeah, this is good. And then you turn the page, you go, this is a pile of crap.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not an out and out writer, but I didn't have a ghost writer. Most rock and roll people have ghost writer in the sky. So they just spiel into a tape recorder, you know, and then the guy sort of like cleans it all up and shit, and you know, asks them pertinent questions. So I did that, and then I wrote maybe to lunchtime, and then the afternoon I did some music, because that was a kind of nice relief to play some music. So that's kind of why I had the album coming out as well. So me and Charlie Hart, we got writing some songs, and that was fun to do, and we worked quite hard on that. And so we put the album, we recorded the album end of 2019, and then hey presto, what comes along but the Wuhan flu?
Oh my God!
You know, so like that put the kibosh on a lot of this stuff. We put the horn. We had a few overdubs to do. We put the horns on and stuff before lockdown. And then John Porter, who mixed it for me, who spent a lot of time in LA and New Orleans doing a lot of albums with people like Buddy Guy and a whole bunch of American artists. You know, I went up to him and did the vocals up there because he's an old mate. So it was just the only problem was I wanted some people to sing on it. And I had to do almost all the vocals myself, you know, which is fun. I like doing that, you know, the bass vocals and the harmonies and stuff. And then I want to get my brother on a track. So I sent him a track. I said, can you sing something on this? And he said, well, I haven't got a studio set up. It's in lockdown. No, I said, just do it on GarageBand or something, you know, like. So I had to wait for him some months to get someone in to, you know, once it's set up, he can do it, but he can't sort of like, he's not a whiz kid with techno.
Yeah.
So he did some singing on a track. That's about the only overdub we did in lockdown. So you know, because everyone's saying, oh, you know, we did all this in lockdown. I mean, fucking nightmare, this lockdown thing. Because
it's terrible.
We did the album basically in a little studio in South London, you know, live, everyone playing their instruments, you know, not sending the bloody tape down the wire and someone overdubs on it. And that, I mean, that's horrible. You know, I mean, sometimes you have to do that. I have done that stuff, but not the whole album. And I think you can hear the, you know, the live feel. That song, that was really Charlie Hart, because I worked with this guy called Charlie Hart. And look, I'm 73 now. Wow. And I've known Charlie since I was 19. He's still my best mate.
Yeah. And
we're still working together. And he came up with that song. And it was kind of straight 4/4. And I was going, oh, Charlie, I don't know about this. And then I said, why don't we do a kind of Professor Longhair on it, you know? And I wrote a few more words. It's kind of his song, but just we put that in the dun. Because look, we love all that stuff.
Yeah.
At New Orleans, Wama Mama, try my loving one more time. You know, that's Professor Longhair. We're all big fans. So that's my kind of homage to. In fact, Dr. John came up. There's another track. You ain't heard it yet, but Charlie came down, and it was a kind of slightly voodoo track that I didn't write the words for it. It was written by this poet from 1840 called Beddoes, Thomas Beddoes. And I said, it's kind of voodoo stuff, Charlie. And so Dr. John just died like that week. So we went in my little barn and we started playing the old Joanna, the steam piano. And we got the vibe on that. I don't know. A lot of this stuff is about getting the vibe. Otis Redding.
Great.
Because I'm a singer. And if you're a singer, you got to like Otis. I mean, I can't really hear a better singer, really, since Otis.
Can you do that one more time, Al? Just like, do it just one more time, one more. With you, man,
No, he was one of the best. The only person I can say maybe a Sam Cooke.
That was a little bit before it.
I
love Sam Cooke, but yeah, I mean, I never saw Sam Cooke. I saw Otis.
Oh, you did? You remember the concert? Tell me about that one.
Sure. Well, I went with the guys from the Small Faces. I don't know if Steve Marriott was there, but certainly I went with Ronnie Lane, Kenny, and Mac. And we sat upstairs at the Hammersmith Odeon, which is like a kind of cinema.
Yeah.
Curtains open. Dun, 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 dun. Green Onions by Steve and Al Jackson and Duck Dunn, and you know, that's the show opener, Green Onions. You know, we couldn't get a better opener. And then you just had the whole roster of Stax. You know, you had Wilson Pickett, Eddie Floyd, Sam and Dave, Carla Thomas, Arthur Conley, and then Otis closed the show, all on the same show.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, and well, because he was so young when he died, when he must have died not that long after that. I was, what, 67 or something?
Yeah, yeah. He died. He died. We didn't even get to see his song go #1 on
Yeah, the Bay came out after that.
Yeah,
every guitar player has to know how to play Dock of the Bay around a campfire.
That's right. Just it's a legend, and there's not many people.
Call me Mr. Pitiful.
Yeah.
That's where I got my name now.
Oh, try a little tenderness. I mean, come on. He just had it. He had the swagger. He had the vocals. He had it all.
I mean, if you're a singer, you know, there's certain people you go to for singing. You know, one would be Muddy Waters. You know, maybe Howlin' Wolf.
I was just going to say Howlin' Wolf. I like the dirt between Howlin' Wolf, just the grit you get with him, which I love it.
Marvin Gaye. Terence Trent D'Arby was very good, but he only made one album or so.
Yeah, he kind of disappeared, didn't he, Terence Trent? He was really good.
He was really good. You know, so many singers, but I mean, those are the kind of originals that people take as this kind of standard to go on from there. You know, Aretha. Well, Mavis Staples is really kind of my favorite because I met her and we hung out a bit together.
Oh, wow. What was that like, huh? How was she?
I was in a dressing room. We were singing these gospel songs, and she said, I can't be sitting around singing these songs. We gotta go. We got stuff to do. You know, she was so sweet and down home, and like, you know, you can imagine. And she had me come on stage. I never even met her. And she was in this club in London, and she heard, I was sitting on the stairs near the stage, and she heard that I was there. And she invited me on stage, and she said, I don't even know if he do sing. But you know what it's like. They're all cousins and sisters. They all do the same thing. So for her, it's just natural. You know, I could have said no, but I mean, and I've been sitting there, and you know, I mean, my throat wasn't opened up. She'd already been singing for an hour and a half. And I sort of pushed on stage. I just kind of like, you know, I sort of like, there I was on stage with Mavis. But you know, my missus was there. She said, "Yeah, well, the energy stuff. Yeah, whenever you get someone else on stage, the energy steps up a bit. You know, because there's stuff happening. I mean, you know, that's how natural and friendly and person that she is. And I saw her at Glastonbury Festival, the last run they had before the lockdown, and she did early Sunday morning. And man, she's, you know, I said to her, I've been listening to you since I was 15 years old. Singing with the Staples singers. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. Let me, so growing up, and I was reading about this, you didn't have music instruments around the house, like your family, there was just like your father and mother, they didn't say, all right, we're going to give you music lessons. There was nothing like that, huh? Around the house?
No. No, I mean, you know, we didn't even have a piano. We had a radio. We didn't even have a record player for quite a while. I mean, I guess it doesn't stop me from singing.
Yeah. But
mostly I did lots of sports, you know.
So sports was your thing growing up, but you like even like the banging around on a guitar, when you finally got a guitar in the house, how old were you?
You know, I never really got a decent guitar until I was 21.
Interesting.
So, and I'm still crap at it. But the thing is, if you start off at a really low bass, every little improvement, you know, counts.
Yes.
Yeah, I maintain the best thing about sort of folk music or pop music or whatever you want to call it is it's for the masses. You know, we're not playing Beethoven here. Mm-hmm. You know, you know, if you want to play a Buddy Holly song or something like that, it ain't that hard. you just got to have a little bit of rhythm, and you got to have a bit of spirit, and you know, and it's available for everyone, and that's what's so democratic.
Yeah,
that's what's good about it. It's not exclusive, you know. So don't be sniffy about whatever folk music or people getting up and doing a turn. It should be for everyone, amateur, professional, whatever. And so it took me a while to realize that, because after all, people are quite shy, aren't they, about expressing themselves if they're not confident enough. It takes a while to get a bit of confidence. But you can tell when someone's got a bit of... The thing about singing, I always feel, is that, okay, some people have quite a nice, pleasant voice, but it's really about your timing. You know, you've got to understand timing. And listening to music, you know, you play a lot of music. Listening to music is key. If you listen to a lot of music, it kind of just, it kind of rubs off on you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see enough people, you hear enough music. And then when you come to putting it together, the pieces fit together kind of like a jigsaw. And then, you know, it kind of all makes sense. I mean, obviously, some people are quite brilliant and they're little geniuses, and they can hear. Lots of kids now can play brilliant guitar and stuff. It doesn't necessarily make them very good songwriters. To write a good song, I mean, the guys that I used to like when we were growing up, were guys that looked like they'd been doing some living.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Chain Gang. What's that? They've been on the Chain Gang.
Because in your head, you're creating this like mystique. It's like, wow.
John Henry was a steel driving man. You know, hard living, hard drinking people that kind of, that they lived hard and all that, and they played some music and that. But you kind of felt that music wasn't the be all and end all of their life. It was part of what they did, and they were happy to do it, but they'd done a lot of living, you know, whatever that, you know, to get out of poverty or put a roof over their head, or, you know. So I was always drawn to people that had character. You know, when you listen to, you know, Little Walter and, you know, Muddy Waters, like, all those early blues guys, you know, you're right there, aren't you? You know, they ain't faking nothing, are they? You know?
No. Those guys lived it, and
there's no auto tune, you know.
Bob Dylan, for example, it's just the phrasing, the way he's saying a word, and
but nobody phrases like Bob Dylan.
No, nobody does. So you totally
He'll phrase just to fuck you up.
You know,
I saw Bob Dylan at quite a small concert in London, and he was doing Just Like a Woman, which is obviously a pretty seminal Bob Dylan song. And he didn't even get to the mic to start the song on time. And someone I was with, only Bob Dylan could fuck up a Bob Dylan tune like he did. Yeah, because he doesn't really care, you know.
But it works. I bet the fuck up was it works for him. You know what I mean? It's. What do you think about when the band and Bob Dylan got together? Me personally, I dug it. I loved it.
Well, I'm still a massive fan of the band,
okay.
And I do a couple of their numbers, and you know, I don't do many covers, but I figure if the band are not there, they're not playing it anymore, and these people need to hear this shit. And if I don't do it, who else is going to do it? So,
no,
you know, I love all their songs. I hung out with those guys for a bit and got to meet them, and you know, I felt privileged to be, you know, part of their company. And you know, a lot of these people, I think they want you to carry the light, you know, carry the torch, you know, for them. That's what they're expecting of you a little bit, you know. It's all out September 10.
Okay, September. Okay, so we got the record and the book the same time. Is that correct? And then we got your book.
Double Trouble.
Okay, then we got, here it is, the new album released September 10th, pre-order CD, vinyl, and digital now. And then, of course, the book, Talking to Myself by Chris Jagger, coming out. All the links will be down below. Chris, hopefully I could have you come back again. We could talk a little bit more rock and roll when you have a little more time.
It's a pleasure to meet you like this.
Hey, thank you very much. Everybody, get his music, get his book. Links will be below. You be safe.
Hasta la vista.
Much love to you, my friend.
Viva la
Thank you.
revolución.
Everybody, that was a great one, and that was Chris Jagger. And I got to thank you, Chris Jagger, for showing up and talking with us a little bit. But we're live right now, so I give you a couple of minutes and chat with you guys before we sign off. Originally, that video was edited to for tonight, but I figured I'd go live. We did lose a great guy in rock and roll and a true gentleman, Mr. Charlie Watts. So, like I said, our heart and prayers and for his family and friends out there. But he did give us some great music. When you think about the music, the drum kick on Emotional Rescue, and then even the groove on Gimme Shelter, there was nobody like Charlie Watts out there. And I just put some pictures up here of him behind this kid I want to share with you, the great Gretsch kid. Look at him. And Keith Richards did a beautiful post that was real. It hit me because he posted a picture of the drum kit with, it said closed, and Charlie Watts, man, the true legend. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And I want to give a big thank you to Chris Jagger on our playlist, Artist Rewind, to come on here and talk a little bit with us. And everybody out there in the chat, I hope you're doing good. Audrey, thank you very much for sharing this for your Facebook and, all over the place. I appreciate that. Deb Smith, good to see you over there. I see Deb. Hi, good to see you, Deb. And of course, Debbie Muller, rest in peace, Charlie. And nice to see everybody here. Nice way to end. That's right. Stefan, I'm here, Steve. Also, Bob, thank you for saying it's a great show. Thank you, Chris Pace. Also, all links are in our description. So if you do want to check out the book that is coming out September and the record from Chris, all links are in our description. Just click on it. You can check out his webpage and some other photographs and all that good stuff. And let's see who else is here. AH says Watts was so smooth when he played. He made it look easy. He did have that easy groove. It's funny when Bill Wyman and Charlie were the rhythm sections of the Stones, because now they took Bill Wyman, ended up retiring, but it was very funny. They always looked like they were sleeping and laid back, but they always were grooving. And yeah, Charlie definitely he wouldn't do drum solos if you noticed that, but he just had his own flair. It was AH, but I did make it look easy. Yes. And all right, everybody. Next week, the vinyl games. We're doing them once a month. So please do me a favor. If you're in the Talking Wax tier and you want to play, sign up. We will do a roll call. You got to be in the Talking Wax tier. The other tiers, if you want to play, it has to be Talking Wax tier. So sign up. But we do ask, if you are going to sign up, you got to have good internet or a good camera, and make sure you got your stuff together, because it's going to be a showdown. People want to see your records when you're showing them. So that's all we ask for. But start signing up. We're going to do them once a month. And anybody who's a patron will get to play. Next week, we have Eric Bacharach, a fellow Patreon, defending the title. Will be Cooking with the Kid, coming back again. And it's going to be the theme, the 27 Club. That's all the stars that passed away at the age 27. And it goes deep. It goes all the way from the blues, from Robert Johnson, to all the way to Kurt Cobain, to Amy Winehouse. So that's the theme. Bring your records, bring your stories, bring your votes. It's all going to be next week on this channel, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to be live. And you guys are going to be voting. So share it out. Tell people about it. And let's help grow this channel, okay? On that note, everybody, Steve, happy birthday, Amber. Thank you. Everybody, thank you very much for your text for Amber's birthday. And you know what? Thank you very much, Debbie Muller. Mwah. You're great. And the 27 Club, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to have a special guest host also. I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's going to be a fun one. And you guys are going to really dig it. And on that note, I think it is Saturday night, and it's time to relax and play your vinyl and dance the night away. Okay. I want to appreciate you all, being here. Just wanted to chit chat with you. And Coffee Talk on YouTube, Monday, 7 a.m. Dr. G, Corey Leviton, and me will be here. And we have in Patreon, I believe we have Rudy Sarzo coming on, and we'll be doing a show with him, talking to him. So, hey, you supporting our channel, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It helps us keep the music alive. It helps us tell you these great stories, and it helps us have a little forum here. So trust me, every donation to keep this channel breathing, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. All right, everybody, we're going to be out of here now. But on that note, I want you guys to be good to each other. And remember, everybody, it's only rock and roll, and we like it. I'll see you all later, you crazy kids. Now get out of here. Bam.
Joking wax, alright. Wax. Chalk and wax.